happy to say there's been a lot more ups. We battling through the COVID with the jail and with the courts here, and still was able to implement multiple programs. We added 2 canines to the force, so they're in actually another school right now being trained again. We're adding a chaplain program for the first time. They haven't had one. We're up to actually 7 clergy. Started the first bias hate crime unit, so I have a team involved with that, involved with the community. The chaplain program is designed to help with that and work with us to assist with the community and their congregations. And then we also started a public relations unit. So when I took all of the information, everything that we've been doing, and I started a unit that for social media, reaching out to the community, reaching out to the schools and the places of worship, businesses, just to let them know that we're here for them, we're working for them. The officers are out there, and whatever they need is what we're here for, to help out.
Can you expand a little bit about the chaplain service and how that kind of helps power, like you said, the biased crimes unit, or not like crime unit, like can you like?
It's a bias hate crime unit. It's basically what it is. It's just another way, another layer for people to report. If they're biased crime, maybe they have questions about an incident. Maybe with the chaplains, there's a way for a congregation to, if they're not comfortable with the police, to go to their chaplain, and they can be that liaison. They can be that mediator for me. I think what you find in law enforcement is there are a lot of people. We're a very diverse county here in Somerset, and a lot of people don't understand the process. A lot of people are afraid of the process, maybe from the country they came from or wherever their origin is. So what here is you kind of break it down. They're comfortable with their clergy, maybe they're comfortable with their business owner that they're friends with, and they're part of this, and they know me, and they know my officers. So they can relay, they can be a liaison, they can bring the person in, they're comfortable with somebody, and then they can understand, and we can explain to them a little better about how the system works.
Great. Can you also expand a little bit about the public information section of your department, because that's really innovative. I don't remember ever hearing anything like that.
What I try to do with that is actually try to get to every event we can get to. The more the public sees you, the more the public's going to trust you, the more they're going to understand what you do. They're going to understand if they can relate to officers on a different level instead of a traffic ticket. Instead of arresting somebody or seeing them fighting somebody. You start relating to people on a different level. You're at a park with our tent. We bought a nice big size tent with the logo on it, so people can go to it, get some pamphlets that we have, speak to some of the officers, and I think that's just a crucial way. It's one way to get to that neighborhood, to get to the individuals that don't understand what we do and don't maybe like I said before, they're not comfortable from where they came from, and they get a one-on-one personal with the officer. Get away from that. I'll say, fighting the bad guys. You get into that one-on-one level with them, to talk with them. So we try to go to all the events we can go to. We try to spread ourselves out to the community. We offer our services. We offer to come to businesses to talk to people and to schools. We just try to do as much as we can just to kind of mix it up with the public.
How would someone from the public, like an organization, reach out to you? What would be the best way to perhaps have you guys attend an event or do some kind of interaction or a workshop, maybe even with their organization?
A lot of times they call the office. They might call upstairs the administration, and if there's something going on. Sometimes the programs are run by the county, and we get the flyer, we get the information, we join in. Sometimes we start, the event, and we just reach out to the public. But it's easy to come down to the office, come down to the administration building, send an email, call up the front desk or my assistant, and you can get the information you need. The door's always open, I always say. I try to get home for dinner, for the wife on time, but if people are coming in, they need something, that's what I'm here for. They elected me to come in here. I said from the beginning, I want to be part of the community. So I'm here, we're out there, I'm here for the people. So Just let them come in and talk. Let them see what we've done. Let them see where I'm going, and hopefully they like it and they agree with it and come on board and enjoy yourself and learn what we do. We're also starting a ride along program. We restarted and have increased our internship.
Ride along program.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? So what exactly is that? Because people always hear ride along, and I'm telling you, people are going to be like, huh? Is it what I think it is?
I've had quite a few people call, and I'm like, all right, we're starting it soon, but COVID was tough for the past 2 years with a lot of programs I was trying to start. Even the internship program. I just couldn't have people coming and going like that, and a lot of things were closed down. But we're pushing forward for the intern program. That's working out great. The ride-along program, I think I'll give it another 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll have our first couple of ride-alongs. Now, someone come in, they can meet with an officer here, you learn a few things inside, get out in the police car with other officers available, and just you kind of meet the public. We're trying to figure out how far we go. If you want to, kind of pull a car over, I gotta look at that. I gotta ask the lawyers for the different,
Definitely.
different thumbs up on different things. But you want the people to see what we deal with. Now, there's also a simulator at the academy where the person then could go up and be a police officer in a safe environment,
Oh, wow.
but also get the experience of what we deal with and the level of tension that we deal with sometimes when you're could be obviously a simple motor vehicle stop, but none of them are simple, or none of them are routine either. Just you don't know when you're walking up to that car, and even if you're sitting in a car watching us with another officer with you, you're gonna feel that sense, your heart rate going up. You're gonna feel that. I think people need to see that. People need to kind of feel what we do. I think it would make them understand a lot better when something they feel goes wrong or we don't do right. Well, maybe you got to look at it from our view. Like this is what we were going through. A lot of times you see videos of instances that happen, and it's not the video of the officer. It's a video of somebody that's in a nice safe area and they're watching something. They video it, but you don't see what the officer's going through. You don't see his angle. Which a lot of we have now the body worn cameras. That came out through the governor's office, through the grant money and all. And so we're in the process of instituting them into the field.
So what do you feel, do you think body cams will help policing, or like how do you feel about body cams and policing in general? Like, I know that's a loaded question, but it's just
No,
in general.
I think of course it's definitely going to help. What you're going to see is that officers 99.9% of the time do their job. What you're going to see is that the job isn't easy, and what you're going to see is that we make split-second decisions, that everyone else in the world can view it at their safety of their home, our decision, and second guess it all they want, but you're having hours to do this, or days, or weeks, some months. We got split second to make a decision. You're going to see that on these videos, that no matter. And I try to tell people, it's like the video is not going to show everything. The video is looking forward ahead. The officer may be looking, seeing something over here or on the side, but you will get that, that feeling, that sense, and that what the officer's going through.
Kind of on that topic, and in vain, what are some of the biggest challenges that you see, like from your seat as an officer, especially someone being in law enforcement for so long?
I think everyone, I don't want to say second guessing, but Monday morning quarterback. We always use that phrase, and until you really are in our shoes of what we're dealing with and what we, officers don't go out there looking to hurt somebody. Officers are not going out in the street, looking they want to have that shooting. It's not happening. Okay, I mean it's a shame that it does happen, but if you look at all these videos and you just see these officers, one of the hardest things is for an officer to just go out there and do his job, and then a lot of times now, especially younger officers, they got to worry about being second guessed with everything they do. We're going out there, again, 99.99% of the time, doing the right thing, interacting with the public. I mean, millions of times, throughout the week, throughout the country here, and we get the job done. You don't hear about that.
What are some programs that you think exist, and knowing from having a relationship with Franklin Township Police Department, and also things that you may be doing with your department as well, like, and just in general, like, what are some programs that you think between the police and the community can be initiated, or kind of emulated from other places that you've seen that kind of help bridge that gap between the public and police in some instances when second guessing is happening, because that could,
Yeah, I always was a big component of the community policing. Out there in Franklin, I had major crimes and again the gangs and the drugs, and I saw the worst of the town. But it was always also about communication. It was also about getting the public involved, the community involved with you. I know Franklin's doing a community team now. Actually, my son's on the team in Franklin, the bicycle unit. I think bicycle units puts the officers right there in the street with the people. They can get to talk to the people. They get to see them on the bike. Hands-on type, interaction with them, with the kids. Going to the schools. We have programs going to read to the kids in the schools, bringing the canines to the schools. So I think programs like that. How do you stop the second guessing? How do you stop this Monday morning quarterback? I don't think it's possible at this day and age with social media. That's another thing I'll say. There's cameras all over the place. If they're not up on the walls, they're in everyone's hand. And as soon as something happens, all the phones come out and they start filming. And officers are aware of that, and they're also now wearing cameras. So I mean, if you really look and think about the comments about cops being dirty or cops being bad, it's pretty difficult to pull that off. It's just there's a lot of eyes out there, and it's a good thing. But I think it also is showing, well, we are a good group of people. The officers are out there to help, because you don't see a lot of the videos of everyday officers, and thank God for that, but you don't see them out there, doing illegal things or doing things wrong. You see the good, and that's what they're out there for.
And I have to admit, like, the majority of videos that you do see out there, but why do you think it resonates so much when it's just that one video
News.
Out of
It's news. That's, you don't want to see the something good in sports. You want to see the fumble. Everyone's running for the fumble. You want to see some new bad stuff sells, and people don't want to see the officer, pulling somebody out of a car when there's a car accident or helping them. It's a little boring. You're putting a bandage on them or something, I'd say, to most people, I'm saying. But, when something, you're tussling and rolling around with somebody, that's news. That's like, whoa, look at the action, and people just gravitate towards that. And it's, look, you get that in movies, you get that in everyday life, you get a regular couple people in a bar fight or something, that's just, I don't know how to say, that's just life, right? Definitely. But it's something we got to deal with you see 4 or 5 seconds of a video, when the video is actually 3 minutes long. You only seeing the bad part. I always say, I go, arresting people is not pretty. Okay, you don't want to be arrested. You put up a hell of a fight. It is not easy to arrest somebody. That's something with we do a ride along. We show people, even like some places are doing, like Franklin's doing like a civilian academy, like for adults, right? Great idea. I was trying to get that done. Kudos to them to pull that off. But you pull out a pair of handcuffs and you give it to some of the bigger, individuals or bigger guys out there, and you want to handcuff some of the smaller people, it ain't that easy. And everyone just thinks it's, the movies. You slap the cuffs on, and it's not that easy. Definitely. So it's right, when people don't want to be handcuffed, then who wants to be handcuffed and everyone know they're going to jail, right? 100%. So it's I think it's just things to keep showing the public what we do. I keep trying to show the public the good. I keep trying to keep it positive. And I'm the first one to stand up when I look at something and it's wrong, to say that was wrong. I've done that in the past. I'll continue to do that. But I'm also one to say, no, I don't think that was wrong. I think what he did, here's why what he did or she did, as an officer.
Well, do you have any recent events that you may have seen that you have any opinions on?
Not really.
Okay.
I know the one talking about it, and it's under investigation.
Yeah.
I'm not commenting on it. What I say is, let's watch all the video. Watch the video from the officers. See the whole thing. I have very faith in the prosecutor's office, what they're doing, the investigation, the Attorney General in Bridgewater, whatever they're I don't know how much they're involved in it now, but I have faith in the prosecutor's office to do the investigation properly. And there's a lot of layers in law enforcement. There's there's a lot of use of force guidelines, but there's also a lot of criteria after it. You know, your use of force gets looked at in your PD, then it gets looked at in the prosecutor's office, then it gets looked at in the Attorney General's office. So it's not just, there's a lot of layers and things like this. And, you know, people need to understand that and let the investigation play out. That's all I'm asking. Nothing for anything over the years, anything more recent, anything in the past that might come up. Let the investigation play out. You know, it's.
So, do you know of any events that you would like the public to know that you guys will be involved in coming up in the spring?
Yeah, actually, we're looking at having. Oh my gosh, for June for LGBTQ, we're having an event out on the courthouse and everything. I think it's going to be May because June is very busy. They have all their parades and events. We'll be attending a lot of that, but I think we're trying to set up something towards the end of May. I also have the police unity tour. I'll throw a little plug into that police unity tour. I'm riding in it May 10th for my 10th time. May 10th, 11th, 12th. That leaves Franklin Township headquarters at. I get there around 8:30. So it's a 240-mile bicycle ride to Washington, D.C. in 3 days, and it's for fallen officers. So, you know, people want to come out, line the streets. We get a lot of people. It's a great event. So, maybe my last time riding, I'm saying, but it's getting a little.
I got a little scoop there then.
It's getting a little much.
Because you've been doing it
This is my 10th.
Wow,
now we shut it down 2 years for COVID.
Oh, right.
So but this will be my 10th time riding. So.
Excellent. Anything else that you would like the public to know, like about the Somerset County Department? Like it seems as though like it's the best way to kind of reach out to you guys is through email or contacting or.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's the easiest way. I mean, you know, like I said, calling the office or the email and going on from my email or anything like that. That's the easiest way to do it. Coming down to the office, you can always come down and see the officers. You can go to the courthouse if you want to see the officers. You can't go to jail unless you're getting arrested. But we have a great group of guys and gals in the jail. You know, there's 117 officers over there. They did a fantastic job through COVID. There were times, to give them another thumbs up, even over on the law side here, where there's 62 officers. I mean, we were cleaning up the offices ourselves. We eliminated the cleaning crew. And we were cleaning our own garbage cans, sweeping our own floors, just to limit the people coming in and out of the building. We had people over in the jail, the officers, just sanitizing, every couple of hours going around. So they did a fantastic job. I want to give them a definite thumbs up on and appreciate the work they've done. And the community needs to know it too.
Speaking of that, like how is that like COVID impacting things now? Because it seems like everything it's kind of lifting in most places. How about it from a prison perspective and courthouse?
So we just the jail just started. We just opened up again rec, and we just opened up visitations, and then we have the chaplain program over in the jail. So like we've been working on things like that with the inmates. The courts are just opening back up, so it's kind of like just getting back into it. Now, over the past 2 years, I've had officers retire, for different reasons, leaving the office. So you have now a pretty decent sized group of officers that haven't worked the courts yet, or haven't worked some of the jail, really gotten into the jail stuff yet. So we're, slowly, getting them into it and getting it back involved in it to get back on our feet. But we've continued, like I said, we added to the K-9 unit. I have officers out with the Homeland Security doing work, officers with the marshals, the DEA. We actually have the first K-9 sworn in as a DEA agent with my K-9 handler.
Nice.
From the sheriff. So that's, I like getting out there and working with other agencies. It works to our advantage if there's seizures, and some money can come back. We changed the look of the police car. I got a different look on the car. So we're just and diversity. That's one of the biggest things when I came in here. Yeah, when I came in, I looked at the diversity of the department. I thought it was lacking. It was lacking. I changed that. I had promoted the first female sergeant in 17 years. I promoted the first African American captain in the jail in 30 years. first lieutenant in the jail ever. You know, LGBTQ, more than welcome. Actually, the female is LGBTQ and Asian. You know, so actually 6 out of my sergeants on the law side are I just promoted 3 are female. So I think you need to have a makeup of the community. I think my hiring has done that. I don't have the numbers here, but I've definitely been looking for the best and looking to make sure we what the community is what the police departments are, what the sheriff's is.
Speaking of that, have you guys had any trouble like filling roles? Because a lot of people are understaffed. Like, I don't know if you're experiencing that as well.
Yes, it gets tough. I mean, what's happening now is with the local police departments, people retiring and some of the problems that have been going on in COVID, they're hiring, well, every police department's hiring right now. So a lot of people are gravitating towards the police department, so it's getting a little harder to pull in officers here, you know. I got somebody, I think next week they're going to another PD. You know, it is more money. It's also a different way of life. I mean, generally in the sheriff's office, generally you have the weekends off, not always. You know, you don't have the midnights as much as if you go to a municipality. You know, over in the jail, you have to work all that all the time. But on the law side, it's a little, I'll say, easier in that aspect. Some people gravitate towards, they want more on the street. You know, they want to be a street cop. So I get it, I understand it. It's whatever they want to do.
Anything you would say to someone that might be thinking about joining law enforcement? Is it a good way to kind of make their way in?
It is a great way. You go through the same training as municipal police officer. You're PTC certified. You can go on the website and you can put an application in. You can do that for the jail and you can do that for the law side. So I welcome anybody to put in. I try to get through them, you know, as many as I can. I have my public relations sergeant. She goes through them. And then another sergeant's in there also, he goes through them. And we have the warden over there, and the deputy warden goes through them with the chief, and so it's a process, but I mean, we try to, you know, get it out to the public as much as we can, try to go to job fairs if we can, and just let people know we're here. Corrections is a great job. I mean, you're inside, it's a little different dynamic, you know, with the prisoners, you're basically in there, but it's a good career, you know.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay.
It was nice speaking with you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, good job. Nice work. Yeah, one of my